Hollywood's favorite courtroom queen just dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking. And poor Kenny Lattimore is right in the blast radius. It was supposed to be a love story for the ages. Judge Faith Jenkins, the razor-sharp former prosecutor and no-nonsense television judge. And Kenny Lattimore, the smooth crooner known for his romantic ballads. The pair tied the knot in a fairy tale ceremony in 2020 that had fans swooning. But just 5 years later, their relationship is in complete disarray, and Judge Faith is making it very public. Sources say the courtroom has become a war zone, and Kenny's dignity is caught in the crossfire. The beginning of the end, it started subtly. Whispers about the couple's tension began circulating early last year. Fans noticed that Faith, once constantly posting loving tributes and adorable videos of the two together, suddenly went radio silent. Kenny, meanwhile, began appearing solo at public events, wearing forced smiles and dodging questions about his wife. But the silence shattered just a few weeks ago when Judge Faith took to social media and made a cryptic but scathing post that set the internet on fire. Sometimes the mask doesn't slip. Sometimes it shatters. And when it does, you realize you married a stranger. Ouch. The post was swiftly deleted, but not before the screenshot went viral. Fans and gossip sites immediately went into overdrive. Who was the stranger? Was she talking about Kenny? Was there infidelity, emotional abuse, financial betrayal? Now a new bombshell revelation has confirmed what many feared, and Judge Faith isn't holding back anymore. The bombshell that blew it all wide open, an exclusive leak obtained by a close industry source, reveals that Kenny Lattimore may have been hiding more than just secrets. He was allegedly involved in a behind-the-scenes romantic entanglement with a backup vocalist he toured with last year. That's right. The documents, which include emails, travel records, and intimate text messages, point to a covert relationship that began while Lattimore was touring the South in late 2023. The woman, whose identity is being protected for legal reasons, reportedly confided in a friend after things got messy, and Kenny started making promises he couldn't keep. Faith, according to insiders, found out about the alleged betrayal months ago, but stayed silent to protect her image and avoid public humiliation, until now. Judge Faith strikes back, publicly and powerfully. If Kenny thought the situation could be swept under the rug, he gravely underestimated the woman he married. This week, Judge Faith appeared on a panel discussion for a women's empowerment conference. And while she never named Kenny directly, her message couldn't have been clearer. There are men who sing about love but don't live it, who perform romance on stage while breaking hearts backstage. The audience gasped, and the internet exploded. Twitter users were quick to decode the message. Wait, is Judge Faith dragging Kenny Lattimore on stage? That whole perform romance on stage line? Ooh, that's a mic drop. She's not even hiding it anymore. Kenny better pack his bags and disappear for a while. But that wasn't even the worst part. Judge Faith has officially filed for separation, and the documents, now leaked online, include allegations of emotional dishonesty, manipulation, and betrayal of marital trust. In short, she's not just walking away quietly, she's burning the whole house down behind her. Faith's inner circle speaks out. Those close to Faith say this wasn't a decision she made lightly. A longtime friend of the judge revealed to Daily Scoop, Faith is a warrior. She tried everything to make that marriage work. Counseling, boundaries, transparency. But Kenny kept breaking her heart behind closed doors. This wasn't a woman scorned. This was a woman pushed to her limit. Another insider adds, Kenny knew Faith had a zero-tolerance policy for lies. He should have known better than to play games with someone who cross-examines people for a living. In other words, if Kenny thought he could outsmart a former prosecutor, he chose the wrong battlefield. Kenny Lattimore, silent and shamed. So where is Kenny now? He's been keeping a very low profile. His team has declined all interview requests, and his social media accounts have gone dark, except for one strange post that fans think was a desperate attempt to save face. Not everything you hear is truth, and not every truth deserves the public's opinion. #privacy matters. Naturally, the post only made things worse. Comments flooded in, nah bruh, you don't get to cheat and then cry about privacy. You broke Judge Faith's heart and thought we'd side with you? Not happening. She gave you the platform. You gave her betrayal. #bye Kenny. Even die-hard Kenny fans are turning their backs. And with Faith's powerful fan base rallying behind her, he's become the internet's latest villain. What Faith is planning next, and its big sources, say Judge Faith is already working on a new project. a docuseries on relationships, red flags, and the psychology of betrayal. Let that sink in. A woman with a law degree, a TV career built on conflict resolution, and a fresh high-profile marital scandal? That's prime content. And insiders say the series will include real stories, unfiltered truths, and personal experience. She's not just moving on, she's monetizing her pain and empowering others in the process. Even Oprah is rumored to be very interested in collaborating. Black Twitter is Team Judge Faith all the way. If there's one place where public opinion is swift and unforgiving, it's Black Twitter. And the verdict is in, Kenny is cancelled. Here's what folks are saying, and she wore that white dress, stood by his side, supported his career. And this is how he repaid her? One Judge Faith is the role model women need, not tolerating disrespect just to save face. The courtroom is her domain. She's serving justice in heels and grace. Memes are flying. Edits of Faith dragging Kenny in court are going viral. One post captioned Exhibit A, the foolish husband with Kenny's photo, has over 1 million likes. A pattern of hurt? Some fans are even drawing comparisons between Kenny's previous relationship with singer Shantae Moore and this situation. While those two ended their marriage quietly, there were rumors even then about Lattimore's wandering heart. One fan tweeted, "First Shantae, now Faith. Maybe it's not the women, maybe it's him." This new scandal has forced many to re-examine Kenny's clean-cut public image, and it's not holding up well under scrutiny. What's next for Kenny? As of now, Kenny's tour dates are still posted, but industry insiders say promoters are nervous. One venue manager told the R&B Insider ticket sales are already dipping. People don't want to hear love songs from someone whose love life is in shambles. There's also speculation that sponsors and brands may begin pulling out, especially if more damaging info surfaces. And judging by how confidently Judge Faith is walking into her truth, more revelations may be on the way. Don't play with a judge's heart. This isn't just a messy celebrity breakup. This is a public reckoning, a cautionary tale about what happens when you try to deceive a woman who spent her entire life exposing the truth. Judge Faith isn't just moving on. She's doing so with power, purpose, and the full force of the public behind her. As for Kenny Lattimore, well, let's just say the next time he gets on stage and sings about love, people might not be buying it anymore. The court of public opinion has spoken. Judge Faith Jenkins has always stood for truth, justice, and integrity. And now she's standing up for herself, with unmatched elegance and unapologetic strength. Kenny Lattimore may have written love songs, but Judge Faith is writing a legacy. Stay tuned, because this story, it's just getting started. It started subtly. Whispers about the couple's tension began circulating early last year. Fans noticed that Faith, once constantly posting loving tributes and adorable videos of the two together, suddenly went radio silent. Kenny, meanwhile, began appearing solo at public events, wearing forced smiles and dodging questions about his wife. But the silence shattered just a few weeks ago when Judge Faith took to social media and made a cryptic but scathing post that set the internet on fire. Sometimes the mask doesn't slip. Sometimes it shatters. And when it does, you realize you married a stranger.